Hello.
just sent out by the White House. This is critically important. President Trump has just stopped the world turning, frankly, sat at his desk, and held up images, iconography, of the white refugee Irina Zastruga getting slaughtered in cold blood in a racialized hate crime, public execution that happened in a Charlotte train. And Donald Trump has delivered, ladies and gentlemen. Charlotte train. President Trump released this video seconds ago. It is the most powerful statement yet on this. We expect to hear much from Caroline Levitt. I'm going to play you the president's commentary on this in full, along with the resolve of the American people. This never happens to another one of our daughters or sons ever again. These monsters must be stopped. The President of the United States.
For far too long, Americans have been forced to put up with Democrat-run cities that set loose savage, bloodthirsty criminals to prey on innocent people. Really very, very innocent people. In every place, they control radical left judges, politicians, and activists. And they've adopted a policy of catch and release for thugs and killers. In Charlotte, North Carolina, we saw the results of these policies when a 23-year-old woman who came here from Ukraine met her bloody end on a public train. And here's a picture of it. This is the picture of it. And
That's
this is a picture of the woman.
nuts.
Beautiful young girl that never had problems in life. With a magnificent future in this country. And now she's dead. She was slaughtered by a deranged monster who was roaming free after 14 prior arrests. We cannot allow a
14
depraved
prior
criminal
arrests.
element of violent repeat offenders to continue
That's
spreading
awesome.
destruction and death throughout our country.
If you get
We have to
arrested 14
respond with
times, you're a piece
force
of
and
shit.
strength. We have to be vicious just like they are. It's the only thing they understand. 24 of the top 25 most dangerous cities in America are run by Democrat mayors. 50 people were murdered in Chicago in recent weeks, with hundreds being shot. And it's time to stop this madness. The people of our country need to insist on protection, safety, law, and order. We have proven that it can be done because we did it right here in D.C., in District of Columbia. The capital of America was a bloodthirsty, horrible, dangerous place, one of the worst. And now it's a crime-free city, and we're going to keep it that way. It can be done. It can happen fast. All we want is, please, Mr. President, we need help. Chicago needs help. Other cities need help. We'll do what has to be done because we're going to make America safe again, and that includes our big cities. We're going to make those cities safe. Thank you.
That's my president, ladies and gentlemen. This is my president right here, holding up the photos of the senseless slaughter that is completely and totally indefensible. The career criminal monster who was released entirely by woke judicial policies and Democrat restorative justice, well, even had his own mother saying he didn't deserve to be walking the streets. His own public defender begged the judges to not let him walk the streets. And now we have even further
That's crazy.
video of this senseless and evil, despicable act. We have the video that I've been waiting for on this program. I want you to burn this into your brain right here. We're going. You can see the video for yourself if you wish on social media. I want you to burn this into your brain. These images of Irina Zastruga, terrified, looking up in abject horror.
Oh my god.
At the demon above her, released onto the streets to terrorize her and slaughter, maim, and kill, which is something that he had promised to do after his first 14 arrests. Burn this image into your brain. What happened in Charlotte was a public execution, a premeditated hate crime by a black homicidal criminal man against a defenseless, terrified white woman refugee, all brought to you by woke DEI judicial activism and Democrat restorative justice.
If it was a white person who killed a black person on the train, there would be an uproar.
This monster would have never been free.
But because she's white, nobody cares.
To prey on the defenseless. He would be behind bars, living out a Shawshank Redemption life. Never to see or breathe free air again. Which is what he chose. Look, angry,
that guy just got
her face. I won't post the video because I don't want you to see it again. This is what America has become.
Yeah, I've seen that video enough. That's
no
fucked up, man.
more pandering. You have to burn these images in your brain
right now.
because you need the resolve to fix what is happening here. You do not want your daughters to end up like this. You do not want your sons to end up like this. Nobody wants anyone in their family or their loved ones to end up in this hellscape that has been created by what? Judicial activism. As we have shown you here in this wild report from the Washington Examiner, the judge who released the Charlotte light rail killer has a history of addiction activism. She, of course, shouldn't be in any position to release somebody into addiction recovery, given the fact that she has deep personal connections to the addiction recovery grift ecosystem. Did Teresa A. Stokes, somebody who, based on records, has multiple bankruptcies and tax liens against her, based on these records, director of Second Chance Services, magistrate judge without a JD or a law degree, who can somehow rule over all of us and terrorize us, is there culpability here? We need an investigation, and we need an investigation immediately, ladies and gentlemen. There is outrage over what is happening. We started with Jim Jordan and James Comer today on the live stream earlier. I want to jump over to Mike Johnson, who just had a press conference about this. Thankfully,
he's been streaming all
we are having and seeing true action, hopefully, from our Republican representatives here. Here's Mike Johnson, ladies and gentlemen, in his commentary just moments ago.
Remember, was talking about this just unspeakable tragedy. This 23-year-old Ukrainian refugee brutally
I got mail.
In cold blood on a train in Charlotte, North Carolina. Her name is Irina Zarutska, and she was on the way home from her job at a pizzeria where she worked. She was stabbed repeatedly by a career criminal with a rap sheet a mile long. It's infuriating. It's heartbreaking. It makes us. It gives you a feeling in the pit of your stomach. This
it makes me sick. That's fucking insane that happened to that poor girl. Nobody did nothing. Nobody cared. Just let her fucking die. Nobody even noticed. They're all in their headphones.
Or so she
didn't even hear her get stabbed or
just to have her
scream.
life senselessly ended by someone who should have never been allowed to walk freely. This individual, DeCarlos Brown is his name, was arrested and released 14 times. Yeah, more than a dozen.
If I was there, that motherfucker wouldn't load the train. That's all I'm saying.
With ruthless fighters like you conquering in the
every
name of
single
the
day in our
Forsaken,
nation's
our
capital.
race is one step closer to defeating
Ladies and gentlemen,
Arthur's
Marjorie
once
Taylor
and for
Greene
all.
here, saying
I have a
nobody
good
helped
feeling
her.
about you,
You could
comrade.
see in the video. No one even assisted when she was stabbed in the throat.
Beware.
Everybody is too scared.
Is about.
In the wake of George Floyd and Daniel Penny, everyone is too worried to assist their fellow countrymen. What hell have we created in this nation? Where have all the men gone?
The shadow.
This poor woman
Yes, ma'am.
was attacked, and not a single person did anything to help her. The murder of Irina Zastruka shows that the courts failed and allowed this monster out of jail, but also love has grown cold. What has happened
now?
to America? She didn't die quickly. She was fully aware, desperate, and
Just as
terrified.
we protect our compatriots in
It is
battle,
a
we must also
grotesque
protect the
indictment
interests of the Forsaken.
of the hellscape and indifference that has been created in this nation. Charlotte girl who was alone, left alone to die while everyone else got out of there. She's in fear right until the very end. Why is this happening as her life fades? This is devastatingly horrible. We now have the footage. Burn this into your mind. Burn this, ladies and gentlemen, image. Judges releasing criminals who go on to commit murder is a long-standing pattern in every single state in the U.S. Until the judges are held accountable, nothing will change. We need judicial reform that holds judges accountable. Hammurabi's Code has something, it has a line in it like that, where if a judge allows a criminal free and that criminal commits a crime, then the judge shares in the sentencing of the criminal. A group of people frozen in fear because of one criminal. This entire scene feels dystopian. Americans do not need to live like this. Say it again. Americans do not need to live like this. Pure evil looks like. White supremacy is a problem in America. CNN, MSNBC. Racism is eye-popping. Axios. It's surveillance cameras. That's the problem. Times. Right-wing influencers complain. What about her? Does anybody care?
I do.
Amazing. You found the one Ukrainian refugee that you don't care about. Get angry. We have to She was stabbed. They allow them to do this to your children, and you think that you live in a free country. Nobody even helped her. Totally and completely haunting. Ladies and gentlemen, we have news that Michael Schellenberger is in the White House press briefing room. See, this is great. He's an excellent reporter. Well done. Weak men do, in fact, create hard times. From the press briefing room, Caroline Leavitt, imminent here is the stand-up from Fox News previewing what we will see. White House preview, by the way, has just gone live, meaning, again, Caroline Leavitt in just moments. Here is the White House, the preview of what Fox News' White House reporter says will be happening next.
So what do you expect from this briefing today?
Well, Sandra, the murder of that Ukrainian refugee has spurred at least 2 federal investigations, one by Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, who indicated that future federal funding could be at risk, which leads one to question whether this could be a tool that the administration might use to force other Democrat-led cities and states to get tougher on public safety if tax dollars are at risk. You also had the FBI Director Kash Patel say that his agency had been probing this since day one. Meaning we may see federal charges come down. The attention from the administration coming despite resistance for some time from local officials. Charlotte's mayor had thanked the media for not sharing the video of that heinous killing, citing the need to respect the victim's family. But if you look at the rap sheet this individual had, it spans more than a decade, multiple instances of failures by the courts and magistrates, putting this person back on the streets, even at the against the urging of his own mother, who said that he should not be out in public, telling a local station there in Charlotte that he had schizophrenia and was a public safety risk. The president's now taking aim also at cashless bail policies as he tries to direct some of the criticism toward the Democrat officials in that state and the soft on crime policies that they had, he says. We also have this story emerging in the Middle East. You had Israel's strikes on Hamas targets in Qatar, really rippling the region, could have trickle-down effects on the Abraham Accords, and also poses big questions about what this means for the war in Gaza and whether it's possible to see it end through any kind of a diplomatic resolution. We've seen reports that some of the targets in that attack were the top negotiators that Steve Witkoff had been meeting with and may have survived. So a lot of questions yet to come about what this means for that war, what the president knew. You had Israeli media reporting that not only did the U.S. know, but they greenlighted it. Of course, we need to hear from the White House their take on things, but a lot of big news in this briefing ahead. Sandra.
You bet. That's what we will be watching for that to begin shortly. Jackie, thank you.
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, they have seated the new media feet And we expect now the shot is on the door, so we expect Caroline Levitt at any moment. That video from President Trump setting the table here is incredible. President Trump holding up the photo of Irina Zastruka and her killer, saying this should have never happened. The guts to come out and do this. It just off the top, just allow me a moment here to say elections matter. Could you imagine if Kamala Harris was sitting in that chair right now? God help us, Joe Biden. Who would be worse? What would be worse? If Kamala Harris were in this chair right now, we wouldn't even know about this. They'd be probably rounding up and imprisoning J6ers still. That's what they'd be doing. DC would be completely and totally overrun
Health warning
by the criminal element. This kind of thing would be happening on a...
Health warning.
It's happening on a near daily basis anyway. It'd be happening on a multi-daily basis.
Health warning.
No American would really be safe to walk the streets at all. Kamala Harris would most likely be pushing her DOJ, run by AOC, no doubt, Attorney General AOC, to see if there's any way that they could charge Irina Zastruka post-mortem for some type of hate crime. She's looked at him wrong, or just existing is a hate crime to these people. Could you imagine an alternative timeline? Just like, please burn it into your brain that elections matter, elections matter, elections matter. What would Kamala Harris be saying right now? Kamala Harris would be sitting in the White House, instead of saying what President Trump says here, that this monster needs to be met with vicious pain from our judicial system and from our system of justice, and that we must never allow this to happen again. Kamala Harris would be sitting here talking, most likely eulogizing Brown. She'd most likely be sitting here saying how he's been failed by the system, and this is really a question about mental health. Even though he says, I got the white girl, I got the white girl, I got the white girl afterwards. This was an on-camera execution. Racial hate crime. Premeditated. And Kamala Harris, you know it. You know it in your heart of hearts. She would be sitting here talking about how the system failed the murderer and how he's actually the victim in all of this. Kamala Harris would most likely be holding up the same photos, asking Irina Zastruka and her family what they could have done more, then demanding $1 trillion for rehabilitation centers because we haven't thrown and blown enough money directly into the furnace for rehabilitation of demons, animals, and monsters who simply deserve to be behind bars.
Health warning.
That's the way that our ancestors did it. That's the only way that actually works. As we have said on this program, 1% of the population, actually less, fractions of a percent of the population, commit 90% of the crime, and society must have the willpower to put them in prison. That's it. That's how you fix it. We have a 2-minute warning on Caroline Levitt. So we will...
that's going to be great.
We will await that and not go to another clip. It is horrific, however. This is what they want. They want you to live inside of a zero-trust society. The new video details how there was no help for Irina Zastruka. There was no assistance for her. Nobody stepped in to help. Everyone just got away and watched out for themselves. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon,
Speaking
everybody.
of somebody who's ready to go.
Apologize for my tardiness today.
Caroline
Thanks
Levitt.
for being here. Another packed room. It's good to see. We'll begin with a scheduling update today. President Trump will commemorate the 24th anniversary of 9/11 on Thursday with a visit to the Pentagon Memorial in the morning, followed by an appearance at the New York Yankees game at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx on Thursday. Next week, as you all know, the President and the First Lady will depart for their historic state visit to the United Kingdom on Tuesday, and they will return to Washington on Thursday. Today, I would like to address a tragedy that has not received nearly enough media attention: the brutal murder of Irina Zarutsky. Here are the facts that many outlets have shamefully and intentionally failed to report until President Trump drew attention to it. On August 22nd, Irina Zarutska was stabbed to death on the rail system in Charlotte, North Carolina by a savage career criminal. This is a public transportation system that many in the area use every single day to go to school and work. Irina was on the train that night traveling home from her job at a pizzeria, still in uniform from her shift. This beautiful, innocent 23-year-old young woman was a Ukrainian refugee who had recently fled her country for a chance at a safer life and a promising new beginning here in the United States of America. But tragically, a public transportation system in a major American city was more dangerous than the active war zone that she left. The president and the entire White House are praying for her family and friends during this unimaginably difficult time. But while we extend our thoughts and prayers, we must also seek justice for this crime and call attention to this heinous incident. Surveillance video of the killing was finally released to the public this past Friday. It shows the alleged killer, DeCarlos Brown Jr., pull out a knife, get up from his seat behind Irina, and prepare to thrust a blade into her neck before the released footage gets cut. This is pure evil on full display. The most enraging and unacceptable part of this story is that her death was entirely preventable. DeCarlos Brown never should have been on that train that night. In fact, he should have been behind bars. DeCarlos Brown has been charged with crimes no fewer than 14 times, dating back to 2011, including for armed robbery, felony larceny, breaking and entering, and shoplifting. Brown had previously served 5 years in prison for a robbery with a deadly weapon charge, and he had also forfeited bonds 3 different times, twice in 2014 and once in 2023. Despite all of this past documented criminal history, when Brown was arrested yet again in January of this past year, a Democrat judge, who I will add was a strong supporter of former Vice President Kamala Harris, released this insane criminal once again without requiring him to pay any bail. He simply had to sign a written promise to return for his court hearing. Think about how crazy it is to ask a career criminal, someone who by definition repeatedly breaks the law, to just sign a written promise and come back again another day. This is madness. This monster should have been locked up, and Irina should still be alive. But Democrat politicians, liberal judges, and weak prosecutors would rather virtue signal than lock up criminals and protect their communities. And perhaps most shamefully of all, the majority of the media, many outlets in this room, decided that her murder was not worth reporting on originally because it does not fit a preferred narrative. Many of the journalists in this room spilled plenty of ink trying to smear Daniel Penny for defending a subway car from a deranged lunatic in New York City, but none of those same reporters lifted a finger to write stories about an actual murderer.
Right.
Here's the truth that every American must know. Too many innocent people across the country continue to pay the price of the failed experiment known as cashless bail that has been championed by the Democrat Party for years. All the way back in 2020, North Carolina's then Democrat Governor Roy Cooper established a so-called task force for racial equity and criminal justice. Sounds nice, but it's not. That task force was co-authored by then Attorney General and current Democrat Governor Josh Stein. It recommended, quote, reimagining public safety to, quote, promote diversion and other alternatives to arrest. It also advised to de-emphasize some felony crimes, prioritize, quote, restorative justice, and eliminate cash bail. Democrats in North Carolina and nationwide are consumed with pushing a woke, soft-on-crime agenda, no matter how many innocent Americans suffer as a result. Instead of aggressively prosecuting and locking up violent criminals, the Democrat-backed cashless bail approach lets these criminals roam free in our country to offend again and again. These reckless policies have turned too many of American cities into hunting grounds for career criminals who mock our justice system, drain law enforcement resources, and wreak havoc on law-abiding citizens. Enough is enough, and that is why President Trump is doing everything in his power by taking action to undo these absurd policies. The president recently signed a powerful executive order directing the AG to submit a list of states and local jurisdictions with cashless bail policies. so that the Trump administration may identify federal funds that are being provided to these states and can potentially be suspended or terminated. President Trump firmly believes that to maintain order in public safety, we must incarcerate individuals whose pending criminal charges or criminal history demonstrate a clear, ongoing risk to civil society. This is a common sense and sensible approach that the vast majority of Americans agree with, and it's time for the Democrat Party to get on board with what is right. When these criminals are caught, they must be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law and be sent to prison, where they can no longer terrorize our streets. This is the mandate the American people delivered to President Trump, and it's a mandate he intends to fulfill. Staying on the topic of public safety, new preliminary data released today by Customs and Border Protection in August shows that President Trump has delivered the most secure border in American history. For the fourth straight month, 0 illegal aliens were released into the United States by CBP. Nationwide encounters are down 93%, below the peak of the Biden administration. Border Patrol apprehensions on the southwest border in the entire month of August were less than what was apprehended in 4 days in August 2024 under the Biden administration. President Trump has ended disastrous Biden illegal alien invasion and sealed our border in record time, keeping this central promise to the American people. With that, I will take your questions. Here in our news feed today, we have Michael Schellenberger, who is the founder of Public News with nearly 2 million readers and subscribers. Michael, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
And why don't you kick us off?
Sure. News media, nice to meet all of you. Great to be here. I want to see if you could give some
I am forsaken.
additional measures against Europe and Brazil, not just for censorship, but also for preventing political candidates from actually competing in elections. We've now seen in Romania, France, and now Germany with Paul efforts to basically just prevent candidates from being able to compete in elections. The president has shown some concern around President Bolsonaro, who's being prevented from running. All of this is coming in the context of increased censorship of online platforms, of American platforms, efforts to censor Americans. I'm personally being investigated under criminal investigation with my Brazilian colleagues for publishing the Twitter files of Brazil. We're very grateful that the president has imposed Magnitsky sanctions on the judge. The president is considering additional actions given that it appears that they're going to end up with a conviction against President Bolsonaro for preventing him from running. Is he considering doing anything about the crackdown in Europe? I mean, it's shocking to see Joachim Paul, this mayoral candidate in Germany, with the criminal indictment against him, cites him, quote, saying that he loves the Lord of the Rings as reason why he's an extremist and shouldn't be able to run. So I just wonder if you could speak to that. And again, I'm grateful to be here. Nice to meet you all. And I'm grateful for what the Trump administration has done for free speech abroad.
Thanks for being here, Michael. We appreciate it. Freedom of speech is arguably the most important issue of our time. It is enshrined in our Constitution, and the president believes in it strongly. He himself faced censorship in his road back to this beautiful Oval Office here in Washington, D.C., so he takes this very seriously, as does, I know, the Vice President of the United States and the entire Trump administration, which is why we have taken significant action with regards to Brazil and also leveraging tariffs to ensure that countries around the world are not punishing their citizens in this way. And at the same time, the president is, while he's leveraging the United States to safeguard our interests abroad, he's also making sure that freedom of speech remains here in the United States of America. So I don't have any additional actions to preview for you today, but I can tell you this is a priority for the administration, and the president is unafraid to use the economic might, the military might of the United States of America
Gather such
to
hearts and
protect free
take them
speech
to
around the world.
Apothecary Renfurl at the sepulchre to the south.
There was a Reuters story saying that the Trump
return here
administration
with
was
the
looking at this Europe-U.S. trade deal as one of the sticking points, this issue of censorship, not just of U.S. platforms, of Americans. Do you have any updates on how those trade talks are going? And I also wonder if the president is concerned about NATO membership. NATO membership requires that you be a democracy and you have free speech. Is it possible that some of these actions that we've seen in Romania, France, and Germany would disqualify those countries from being in NATO after this?
I have not heard the president discuss NATO membership in regards to this issue in particular, but I have heard him discuss the issue of free speech and the importance of free speech with foreign leaders around the world, including the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. When we were in Scotland, the president brought this up and how important it is for the Prime Minister to protect free speech in the UK and in various conversations with other world leaders. So he brings it up, and I think the entire world knows that this is a priority for the President of the United States. Gabe.
Thank you, Caroline.
regarding the Israeli strike in Doha, how much time, or how much of a heads up did the U.S. get in the president's situation?
Sure. Well, I have a statement to read for all of you with respect to the Israeli strike. Here it is. This morning, the Trump administration was notified by the United States military that as Israel was attacking Hamas, which very unfortunately was located in a section of Doha, the capital of Qatar. Unilaterally bombing inside Qatar, a sovereign nation and close ally of the United States that is working very hard and bravely taking risks with us to broker peace, does not advance Israel or America's goals. However, eliminating Hamas, who have profited off the misery of those living in Gaza, is a worthy goal. President Trump immediately directed Special Envoy Witkoff to inform the Qataris of the intended attack, which he did. The president views Qatar as a strong ally and friend of the United States and feels very badly about the location of this attack. President Trump wants all of the hostages in Gaza and the bodies of the dead released, and this war to end now. President Trump also spoke to Prime Minister Netanyahu after the attack. The Prime Minister told President Trump that he wants to make peace, and quickly. President Trump believes this unfortunate incident could serve as an opportunity for peace. The President also spoke to the Emir and Prime Minister of Qatar and thanked them for their support and friendship to our country. He assured them that such a thing will not happen again on their soil.
Clear. The president disagrees with the location of the strike and that he passed that along to Prime Minister Netanyahu.
The president just confirmed that in the statement that I just read to you, which I spoke with him about before coming out here. Jackie.
Thank you, Caroline. So is the president upset with Netanyahu now?
The president made his thoughts and concerns about this very clear, and he spoke again both to Prime Minister Netanyahu and also the Emir and the Prime Minister of Qatar after this attack. And the president has always made it very clear that he wants peace in the Middle East, just like he sought that and accomplished that in his first term. He expects all of our allies and friends in the region, that includes both Qatar and Israel, to seek peace as well. And he wants to see that happen, and he's working with all of our allies in the region to get that done.
The consequences, so to speak, for Netanyahu doing this, as it sounds, against the president's wishes, or at least his belief is appropriate. Is there going to be any directive from the president to Netanyahu in terms of what's allowed in the future? And also, is there any concern that
that's so cool. I can do the whole podcast.
Look, that's a decision
I just need to get a different
make with respect to your first question. To answer your second question, as you heard from the president, he said he believes that this can serve as an opportunity for peace, and he's still actively and aggressively pursuing it with all of our allies and partners in the region. Jennifer?
Just to follow up on that, Caroline, are you able to say how often the president spoke to the Prime Minister of Israel before this? Because that's one question. And then what did he mean on Sunday when he posted, "I've given my last warning to Hamas," etc.? He wasn't talking about this on Doha.
No, he was not. As I told you, the Trump administration was notified by the United States military that Israel was attacking Hamas, and the president spoke to the Prime Minister after the attack, as well as, again, the Emir and the Prime Minister of Qatar. And I know Secretary Rubio and Special Envoy Witkoff were present for that call with the Qataris as well. Reagan.
Thanks, Caroline. I have 2 questions for you on crime crackdown.
Sure.
Democrats have tried to argue that red states have higher crime rates while overlooking problems of high crime in blue cities. I'm wondering if the president would consider working with red states to fix high crime in blue cities like in Memphis, Tennessee.
So first of all, I want to get to the premise of your question. Is being pushed by Democrats that there is crime in red states. Of course, there is crime in all states, but the crime in these cities is all in cities that are run by Democrats. If you look at the list of the top 20 high crime cities in the United States, every single one, with the exception of one in Louisiana, is run by a Democrat. And these Democrats have supported the same policies that I spoke about at the beginning of this briefing, like cashless bail. If you look at a red state, Mississippi, but a Democrat-run city in that state, Jackson, in 2019, Jackson, Mississippi eliminated cash bail for virtually all misdemeanor cases. And while Jackson is not formally a sanctuary city, the state of Mississippi formally banned sanctuary cities, and this city has acted as a de facto sanctuary city for criminals and illegal aliens since 2017. Same thing, Birmingham, Alabama, a Democrat-run city in a red state. In 2017, the Birmingham City Council unanimously passed a resolution, quote, committing to establish sanctuary policies. So if you actually look at the facts from these Democrat-run cities, these are cities that are run by Democrats and by by members of the Democrat Party. These are blue cities, and they have all supported these disastrous policies which allow repeated career criminals back onto the streets to further commit acts of violence. And so to answer your question, yes, the president wants to work with anyone across this country who wants to end these horrible policies and to bring law and order to our streets. And I think that is proven by his tremendous cooperation with the mayor of Washington, D.C. and our nation's capital. And just look at the results of that. And I do have some updates for you on this crime crackdown if anyone is interested. There have been a total of 2,177 arrests made since the start of the operation on August 7th. Just last night, there were 57 arrests made in Washington, D.C. Of the 57 arrests, there were 14 illegal aliens who were arrested, many of whom had prior criminal histories. And other arrests just last night in our nation's capital, so you all can be very grateful for this. Our great men and women of law enforcement, both federal and local, working together as they should, made an arrest on a warrant for assault with the intent to kill. The subject shot 2 adult males after an altercation. They made an arrest on a warrant for an armed carjacking. The subject assaulted an adult male in the face with a firearm and then took his keys. We also made an arrest on a warrant for simple assault and the destruction of property and subsequently charged with second-degree theft. Last night in D.C., there was an arrest for possession of a controlled substance with second-degree theft. There was an arrest for possession of a controlled substance with the intent to distribute. That subject, the person is also a subject of interest in a homicide and a carjacking. Last night in D.C., we also arrested a felon in possession of a firearm who was carrying that firearm without a license. So these are the career criminals. These are the bad guys that we are picking up in Washington, D.C. every day. The president would love to do this in every Democrat-run city across the country, and he hopes that more Democrats will call the White House to allow us to help them.
One more that's D.C. specific. Congress is going to not extend Trump's federalization of
Don't look at me.
police. Mayor Bowser signed executive order.
Oh, we got so lucky just now. If those wolves would have attacked us, we would have been fucked.
That the operation has had. Does the White House believe that the Mayor Bowser's action is enough to continue the
I heard that I shouldn't be the warrior because I don't know how to tank, and people are gonna get mad at me, but I'm gonna shit. They're gonna get mad at me no matter what. The fuck I want.
This week. I don't have any phone calls to read out between you, the president, and any other foreign leaders. Ed.
Thank you. I want to ask about the benchmark revisions that came out. If you look at
Thank you for the aid,
between March
I had feared
2024 and
Erland
March
was overcome by the dangers of silver pine.
it averages out
With your
to
help,
73,000 jobs roughly per month added.
Although Quinn's wounds are mending, I want
When
to get
can
our
we
report to
expect
High
the
Executive
Trump
Hadley as
administration, now that
quickly as
policies are
possible.
rolling out,
It has
capacity
information
increase,
that is
average
vital to
being-
the Forsaken's occupation
Let me
of
just
silver
say
pine.
something about the revisions that came out this morning, and this was one of the biggest revisions in absolute terms in decades. And the benchmark year, March 2024 to 2025, shows that the job growth was vastly weaker during the Biden administration than ever previously reported. Between this revision and last year's, job growth was actually overstated by approximately 2 million jobs. And the Biden administration stood up here and vouched for that data and told you that data was real. And when President Trump calls into question the veracity of that data, like he did before he took the oath of office and even now as President of the United States, he was ridiculed for that. It turns out this revision proves two things. Number one, the president was right, and this is why we need new leadership at the Fed. And this makes it very clear that President Trump inherited a much worse economy by the Biden administration than ever reported. And it also proves that the Federal Reserve is holding our monetary policy far too restrictive. Interest rates are too high. The Fed needs to cut the rates because of the mess that we inherited from the Biden administration.
The president said here, when can we expect these numbers to increase?
Well, first, we need accurate numbers. We need truthful and honest data, which is why the president took the monumental step to try and confirm new leadership at the PLA so we can have data that we can actually rely on. and that's what the president has been.
Health warning.
We hope that his nominee will soon be confirmed. Charlie.
You addressed the crime of
Health warning.
No way, these guys are quick.
I see. Health warning.
The Epstein files are back in the news because a lot of Americans feel that the Jeffrey Epstein's victims never got justice. Does the president care about these victims? Do you think he can does he want to deliver more justice for them, and is he willing to meet them?
The president cares about victims of all crimes, and that's why Republicans in the Trump Department of Justice have done more in terms of transparency when it comes to the Epstein case than any prior administration. And why are the Democrats all of a sudden caring about this? It's because they are desperately trying to concoct a hoax to smear the president of the United States. We have seen this time and time again. Ro Khanna and all of these other Democrats, they could have cared about those victims 4 years ago. When Joe Biden was in office, they could have pushed for transparency then. Unfortunately, the Democrats are using victims as political pawns to try to smear and to push a hoax against the president of the United States. And I will get you numbers on the amount of child predators that this administration and this FBI and this Department of Justice have locked up under President Trump's leadership. We have done more than any president to protect victims of crime, especially disgusting sexual crimes, and that includes the deportation of illegal aliens who are perpetrating these crimes against innocent victims in our country right now today, and that remains a top priority for this administration.
President, will he meet with the victims?
On the show operation, the president speak with Netanyahu before they were carried out. Did he urge him to not go through with it? Or did they only speak to him?
Again, I read you a statement. The Trump administration was notified by the United States military that Israel was attacking Hamas. The president directed the special envoy Witkoff to immediately call the Qataris. And after the attack, he spoke to Prime Minister Netanyahu. Behind you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
About the Epstein case, would the White House support a professional
That's a wild name,
handwriting expert
Netanyahu.
review of the document released yesterday to prove that it's not the president's signature?
Sure, we would support that. And in fact, I have already seen many forensic analysts of signatures coming out. I believe it was the Daily Signal that published a piece of 3 separate signature analysts who said that this absolutely was not the president's authentic signature. And we have maintained that position all along. The president did not write this letter. He did not sign this letter, and that's why the president's external legal team is aggressively pursuing litigation against the Wall Street Journal, and they will continue to. Christian.
Thanks, Caroline. Following up on Ed, now that we have these revised job numbers, is the president concerned at all that price spikes, stemming from his tariffs at the end of the year, might actually be driving the country towards a depression or a recession? What I'm asking is he committed to these policies now that we know how faulty the jobs data was?
The president is committed to his policies because his policies are working, Christian. And there have been a lot of people fear-mongering about inflation in this room, but it just has not come to fruition. On a monthly basis, CPI inflation has now come in at or below the market's expectations for 6 consecutive months, every month that President Trump has been in office. Overall, inflation has run at a 1.9% average pace in the president's first 6 months in office. I would have told all of you that in January, you would not have believed me, but those are the facts and those are the numbers. And we also see many other positive signs in economic indicators like real GDP. In the second quarter, it was revised up to 3.3%. That beat the market's expectation. We know there's a capital spending boom right now, which we know is one of the greatest economic indicators of job growth. We know wages are increasing at a far faster pace than they were under the previous administration. We see productivity in the second quarter was also revised up to a strong 3.3%. And total industrial production, factory output, also so. All of this means the economy is moving. People are working. People are spending money. You look at consumer spending. That is also ticking up and in the right direction. And in large part, it's because of the incredible work the president has done in terms of energy and unlocking our energy dominance in this country. Again, the jobs, the numbers from the BLS today prove that the economy was an absolute mess. And we are working every single day to fix it. And all of those indicators I just read for you are positive sign of what is to come.
More quickly on
sure, Danny.
I wanted to get a bit of clarity on the sequence of events with the Doha attack and the notification. You said that the U.S. military
As you may know, the town of Ambermill remains a source of human opposition, mainly through the support they receive from the wizards of Doomiverse. I don't know what their plan is, but for them to show interest in a backwater village like Ambermill indicates that it must have some They've been shipping crates by the wagon from Hillsbrad. Many of them end up at a small camp north of Pyrewood Village. Retrieve the contents of a crate and return them to me.
And you will.
Executor Howard should take stock of our equipment at the sepulchre. There were Scourge and worse lurking in the woods. He doesn't want the Death Guards to lack gear they might need. I found that we are in general well stocked, but we do need more weapons to replace those lost in the
very
field.
clear in the statement that he just had me reading. You will all see it out on True Social very shortly, I am sure. The whole world will see it. He wants all of the hostages released out of Gaza, and he wants this war to end. Those are very two clear directives that the president is making very clear for the entire world to understand. Mary.
But Qatar obviously has been helping to negotiate the ceasefire talks.
I haven't counted the level of surge presence you've seen in Silverpine Forest, nor for the troubles our Death Stalkers have had in their
I
scouting
think the president addressed that in the statement. I can read the whole thing for you again. I think it's very thorough because the president wanted to address all of your questions. He wrote, we wrote, unilaterally bombing inside Qatar, a sovereign nation and close ally of the United States that is working very hard and bravely taking risks with us to broker peace, does not advance Israel or America's goals. However, eliminating Hamas, who have profited off the misery of those living in Gaza, is a worthy goal. So he answered that question himself.
You can't say that Israel is north of the U.S.
We have sent smaller
What I can tell you is the United States military informed the Trump administration.
Go to the and assault the Rothides. If you don't see Nightlash, then kill the
This morning,
Rothides
just
until
before
she
the attack,
appears.
as I
Then
said earlier
defeat
as
her.
well.
Okay,
Her
thank
essence
you.
will
And,
turn to dust.
Yesterday, the
Bring me
president
that
spoke
dust as proof.
about DC crime.
It is
talked about
troubling
how
to
there was
hear our
really
Death Stalkers
none.
have
And
failed
then he
their
expressed
mission.
frustration.
Let us hope that these
about things
failures
that
are
take place
rare.
in the home.
I'll give you the
Crime. He
potion
said,
in a
you know,
moment,
they'll
but
do
here is
anything
its
they can to
recipe.
find
If
something.
those
If the man
Death
has a little
Stalkers
fight
find
with
themselves in need
the
of
wife,
future
they say
aid,
this is
then
crime.
perhaps
See,
you
now I
can give
can't
it
say what
yourself.
exactly what
Here is the
crime
aid
the president
in Senorics recovery.
He wasn't referring
Now,
to
if you will
crime.
excuse
That's
me,
exactly
I
the
have
point he
very
was making.
important work to continue.
The president is saying that these crimes
How
will be
good
made
of
up and
Apothecary
reported
Johann
as a
to
crime
send his
to
research.
undermine the great
So
work
many new
that the federal
developments
task
here in
force is doing to
Silverpine.
reduce
I nearly
crime
forgot
in
about the
Washington,
findings coming
D.C.
out
I
of
think
Lord
the
Iran
president has
and
every reason to
Tirisfal
believe that,
Glades.
given the
Which
efforts of
reminds
many
me,
reporters
I
in
need
this
to get
room
those
who actively
samples
seek to
off to the
undermine the president and what he's doing in our nation's capital. We all know that deep inside you all agree with this because you all live here, and I'm sure you are very grateful for the administration's efforts to make the city, which we all reside in, much safer for
There is a
ourselves and
matter
our
regarding the
kids.
wolf
Michael.
hearts you brought to me earlier that demands attention. The wolf hearts you acquired possess a quality unseen in similar specimens. There is a toxicity to them that should be deadly to the very wolves
It's
in
not
which
something
the
I've
hearts
heard the
beat.
president discuss.
It's
You can ask
quite
him yourself
incredible,
next time you have the
and we must study
opportunity.
it
How's that?
further. I kept a few samples of the hearts acquired. Take them to my colleague, Apothecary Z. You will find her in our headquarters in the
expressed any
Undercity.
interest on creating or having
Arthas's numbers
Congressman
are
create a new
overwhelming.
9/11
But with a
commission to
new
answer
plague, we could
ongoing
eradicate
questions
both the
many
scourge
Americans
army
have
and
about
the
that
human
I
infestation
again
once
have
and
not
for
heard the
all.
president discuss that.
My
You're welcome
studies
to
have
ask him
proven that
yourself, but I
spider
do know
blood
he very much
combined with a
looks forward to
toxin
going to
derived
both
from
Pentagon
animal bear blood
and the Yankees
results
game in
in a
New York
deadly
City on
elixir.
Thursday to commemorate
Collect
the 24th
samples from the
anniversary. As you
spiders
know,
in the
the
skittering bark
president
to
is
the
a New
northwest,
Yorker at heart. He
and
loves the
from the
city very
bears
much. It is
living
his home,
throughout the
and you'll hear more about that on Thursday when the
Deliver the
president
reagents to Master
Kelly.
Apothecary
Caroline, thank
Farinell
you. I wanted to ask
of
you a
the
question
Royal
about the
Apothecary
president,
Society
speaking
in
yesterday
the
at the
Undercity.
Liberty Commission. As
Lady
you know, he created
Sylvanus
the
has
White House
charged
Space
Varimathras
Office,
with the conquering of the
task
human
force
and
on
dwarven
anti-Christian
lands to the
bias, and
south.
yesterday he talked about the
But that
importance of the Bible in America, and the
charlatan of
importance of
Dalaran,
prayer
and
in
now
America.
cursed beast of
Some people
Shadowfang
criticize
What
that
his
in
reckless
stating that he's
magic
about
cavern
Christian
with the
nationalism.
strategic
Yet the
stronghold
president's
of
calls on the
Silverpine
American
Forest.
people to
I need
band
someone
together
skilled
in
in the
praying for
ways
this
of
nation
combat
for
to help
people of
clean
all
up
faiths.
Arugel's
How
mess.
important is that to
Prove
the Trump
yourself to me by
administration?
killing
And
5
are there
moon-raged White
guidelines for
Scouts.
implementing that?
The
The
wretched
last time I
beasts
checked,
can
it's
often
not
be
just
found
Christians who pray,
just
it's
off the
people of
road
all
down the
faiths who
hill
pray,
below.
and that's what the president wants to protect,
An order for
the
supplies.
religious freedom
You'll
for
want to take this to the
Americans of
Undercity,
all
no doubt.
faiths,
And
and he
quickly, for
spoke
the
about that
sepulchre must not be
yesterday,
left
and that's why he was very
One
proud
of
and
my
excited
vans
to
can
announce
take you
this
to
new
the
initiative,
Undercity
Pray
for a
America, encouraging all Americans to pray for our country in the goodness of our country leading up to America's 250th birthday next year.
Why don't we take some from the sides? Elizabeth, go ahead.
Thank you, Caroline. I have two questions.
Sure.
First, on prayer again. Is the Trump administration looking towards forthcoming prayer guidelines to challenge existing court precedent on the right to pray in public schools?
Well, the president spoke about that yesterday, and some of the changes we are making to ensure that the religious liberties of America's students in LSU are respected in public schools. In fact, he had a young student and invited him on stage to share his story about how when this young boy spoke about biological and biblical truth in his classroom, he faced consequences for that, and how Americans of faith should not be facing consequences for expressing their religious freedom and their religious views. Not in any public school in America should that be happening.
Thank you. Regarding Israel attack, cited phone call, what was President Trump involved in attack?
Look, I don't have anything more to read out for you on this other than the very lengthy statement that I've shared repeatedly now.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Thank you. After the Supreme Court ruling yesterday on the ICE raids in Los Angeles, are saying that they're going to be carrying their weapons with them at all times. What is the White House's response to Americans who are concerned about being swept up as
I'm concerned because this administration is focused on detention and deportation of illegal alien criminals who broke our nation's immigration laws. And the Supreme Court upheld the Trump administration's right to stop individuals in Los Angeles to briefly question them regarding their legal status. The law allows this, and this is a practice of the federal government for decades. And the Immigration and Nationality Act states that immigration officers can briefly stop an individual to question them about their immigration status if the officer has reasonable suspicion that the individual is illegally present in the United States. And reasonable suspicion is not just based on race, it's based on a totality of the circumstances to review. And I will tell you, this morning, when ICE goes out to conduct a targeted operation to deport illegal criminals from our community, they are doing so with intelligence. They are doing so with law enforcement sources. They are doing so, in most cases, with the backing of local law enforcement who know exactly where these illegal alien criminals and drug traffickers and drug dealers are hiding in plain sight in our communities. And the men and women of ICE are doing everything they can.
Health warning.
That's why.
Health warning.
Check from the president for $22,000 for. I wondered if the president has any recollection of that, or what you guys made.
Did you see the signature? It is not Donald Trump. It is absolutely not. The president did not sign that check. Jordan, go ahead.
Is he considering? So, first, is the president considering hiring Mayor Eric Adams? If so, why? And does he think earnestly what the candidate for New York?
The president has made it quite clear he wants this race to move forward in New York City. He does not want a communist to be running New York City, but as for weighing in on other individual candidates, I'll leave that to the president to do.
Question. You know, many high school cities in America are black.
The president is trying to protect all Americans from crime, and he wants to make all of our cities in America safe. And the fact is, the most dangerous cities in America are run by Democrats overwhelmingly. And according to the FBI crime statistics, 19 of the top 20 cities with the highest murder rates are run by Democrats. Crime Democrat-run cities are driving up the crime stats in otherwise safe red states. So of course he wants to address this problem. He's made that quite clear.
Mike Johnson came out and said that the president of the FBI meant by that. Not true.
I never heard that is not true. I think the speaker was referring to the fact that President Trump kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of his Mar-a-Lago property for reasons the president has already discussed. John.
Oh, thank you, Caroline. First of all, as a Washington, D.C. resident with my family, I just want to thank the administration for revitalizing safety in the last 3 weeks. Well, I want to go to Virginia. All of a sudden, out of the blue, Winston Sears on Abigail Spanberg. 4 issues. Coerced abortions in Fairfax County without telling mom or dad, no parents, girls going in boys' bathrooms on film, right? 2 of the young girls get suspended for complaining about it. Virginia Beach man, an innocent man, is now died in a car crash by a drunk illegal on the other side of the road, and now you got Spanberg has got those racist signs. When are we going to get the president to make an official endorsement of Winston Sears and maybe come and campaign?
Well, as you know, I'm very limited in what I can talk about when it comes to political endorsements and future elections from this government podium. But all of the issues that you just mentioned, I know are very important to the president, and it's quite common sense. It's the foundation of the Republican Party. Back to the Oval Office. We want to keep men out of women's sports and bathrooms. We want criminals to be locked up. The president wants to see law and order in every state across the country, but as for political endorsement, I'll leave that to him and his political advisor to make those. Sure. Haley.
Thanks, Karen. 2 questions. One on immigration. On Doha, ahead of this resolution today, is the administration at any point trying to sway the Israelis from the potential for an action?
Again, I have answered repeatedly on this. I have a very lengthy statement we will release after this briefing for you to read and to report on once again.
On a case in the killing of Dakara Thompson, there are reports that suspect arrested for murder in the country illegally and arrested and released for driving under the influence both in 2022 and in April of this year by U.S. Park Police. Is the administration looking into what process allows this?
Yes, we absolutely are. As soon as we saw this, before the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Justice were on, and I can assure you that they are. This is heinous act of violence against someone who has never been in our country illegally in the first place.
Health
That's
warning.
exactly why the deportation of illegal criminals from our country is a top priority for this administration, and it's something that is happening every single day.
Health
and I would
warning.
encourage all of you to continue to report on the very violent illegal alien criminals that we are deporting daily from American communities across the country. We will never understand how many lives have been saved by these efforts, or how many lives would have been lost if not for this president and the administration's policy to deport illegal criminal aliens. And Harris? For you to read out on that.
All right, go ahead. Caroline, considering a ban on owning guns, is that something the president would support, even as these gun groups oppose?
I saw reporting on this. I understand there were very preliminary, low-level discussions about this at the Department of Justice, and then sometimes those discussions are reported as fact. I'm not tracking any potential actions on this front. I'm going to let the president weigh in on that policy decision, and it's far too early or would be premature, inappropriate for me to weigh in on. Behind you. Go ahead.
After the immigration raid at the plant in Georgia on Friday, the president said over the weekend that he's open to some kind of visa rules or law that would prevent something like that happening in the future for workers to train American workers. Can you confirm that and that the administration supports those changes, and what exactly would that look like?
Well, the president said it himself. He put out on Sunday night, where he is very grateful for foreign companies around the world in the investments that they're making right here in the United States of America. And we understand that these companies want to bring their highly skilled and trained workers with them, especially when they're creating very niche products like chips, or in this case in Georgia, batteries. But the president also expects these foreign companies to hire American workers, and for these foreign workers and American workers to work together to train and to teach one another. And so we expect these foreign companies to hire American labor. We want Americans to have these jobs. Americans need these jobs. We also understand the need for these companies to bring over their workers who already have these skills. So I think it's a very nuanced and responsible and sensible approach for the president to take. And I know that the Department of Homeland Security and the Department of Commerce are working on this matter together. I would refer you to them for any further action on this front.
Caroline, thank you. Just I want to follow up on something you said. You said perpetrating against the president.
We will still be friends forever.
Who is, I guess, in your view, faking these documents?
I did not say the documents are a hoax. I said the entire narrative surrounding Jeffrey Epstein right now. Many of the liberal cable channels on television is a hoax that is being perpetuated by opportunistic Democrats like Hanna and the others whom you saw at that press conference outside of Capitol Hill, who are trying to push this hoax against the President of the United States.
Is a hoax. I'm just trying to understand what's fake. What's fake is not the documents.
The hoax is the Democrats pretending to care about victims of crime when they do not care about victims of crime, when they have done nothing to solve crimes, when they have done nothing to lock up child pedophiles and child rapists across the country, and when they are now using victims as political props to try and, again, smear the President of the United States and drag on this bad story about him. It is a distraction. The Democrats view this story as nothing more than an attempt to distract from the accomplishments and the achievements of this administration. And that is what we mean when we call it a hoax.
If he didn't sign these, if you said he didn't sign the birthday card, he didn't do this, he also didn't do the check, those were in documents from the estate. So what is the working theory as to why he didn't?
What percentage
The president has
I'm
one
at
of the most
88%.
famous signatures in the world, and he has for many, many years. You know that Maggie covered him for a long time, long before he assumed this office.
Damn, I'm up 7%. That's actually
The
pretty good.
president did not write that letter. He did not sign those documents. He
How
maintains that
Arugal gained
position,
acceptance
and that
within the
position will be
Kirin
argued in
beyond.
court by his lawyers.
His spellcasting knowledge seems transparent as a
Yeah.
glass bauble.
Thank you. Is the president
What's important
planning to
now
meet
is
with
learning
Eric Adams
exactly
in
what
New York,
magic
maybe at the
Arugal
Yankees
used,
game,
so that I
and
can
has he
turn it
personally
against him and
talked to him
secure
about
Silver
Marine?
Pine Forest
I am
for
not
the Dark Lady.
tracking any meeting
Arugal
with
first
time.
stayed at the wheat farm just north of the bridge. One of the Deathstalkers reported seeing some spell books but could not secure them. Retrieve for me the spell labeled Remedy of Arugal from those books.
I am not tracking any meeting with Mayor Adams at this time, but if that happens, I'm sure the New York Post will be one of the first people to know about it. I'll take a couple more questions. Why don't we go to the back?
With News Nation regarding the growing U.S. military
News
presence.
Nation, all the way in the back.
Regarding the U.S. military, the growing U.S. military presence in the Caribbean, when asked directly about possible future military action, President Trump responded, "You're going to find out." What is the
Embrace the shadow.
situation moving forward, and what sort of ongoing threat does Trendejo aggro?
I think it would be very unwise of me to preview what the president meant from this podium. But I think with the heart of what the president was saying, I know what the heart of what the president was saying in this administration believes, is that the regime in Venezuela is illegitimate. And it is unacceptable to this president and this administration to traffic illegal, deadly drugs into
That's
the
me way
United
the
States
hell
of
out there.
America. And that's why the president and the administration took very strong action against a boat and 11 narco-terrorists in international waters. I think that sends a very strong message to drug traffickers around the world. The president will not tolerate it, and the amount of drugs on that boat represents the lives of thousands of Americans that could have been killed by that deadly poison, and we're not going to allow that deadly poison.
Lady, watch over you.
The president will be signing a proclamation in the Oval Office later this afternoon, and we will see you all later. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you may well know, there was a outage in the studio. Unfortunately, there was also outages in these feeds on YouTube. It's very strange. This also happened for our producers, ALX, and for everyone across. It's like almost like the feed at the White House has some type of glitch in it. So there's obviously a bug in the Matrix. They don't want us to be talking about this, all the more reason to talk about it. This is my president. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what I voted for. Just a final note on this. I posted it. Please pull it up during the show. Here we go. I got it. You can just pop up my screen here, or here. Here you go, boys. Thank you. There's the actual full image. You weren't able to see this during the full press conference, but this is what Caroline Leavitt had at her sides. God bless Caroline Leavitt and the entire White House media team. We need to go full screen with this, please. Thank you. This image right here. This is her shaming the media into not covering this. That's what was happening here. This is Caroline Leavitt shoving it down their throats.
Shoving it.
And saying, how dare you actually not cover this deadly, premeditated racial hate crime. Shame the media in front of the entire world. Showing the victims, showing the victim and the murderer, and then shaming them to their faces. A couple of good questions on this. Obviously, I would want more, but this is why I voted for Trump. To fight evil, you first must confront it, and confront it fearlessly. The Trump administration is fearlessly fighting against evil. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what it looks like. To stare evil in the face, and challenge it, and pull on the full armor. And ladies and gentlemen, vote for Donald Trump and for this entire team. We know them well. We'll be in D.C., I think, later this week. We have some very exciting news on all of that. But for the time being, that is the end of the press conference. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We will always show up for you. Please show up for us. God bless you. It's your boy Benny. See ya.
It is another day. It's another morning. I'm not going to say it's good because it's not. But
Sorry,
here we
man.
are. What?
Sorry, man.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You think I would
Bears
be used
lost.
to this by now?
Yeah.
36 years as a Bears fan. You think I would be used to this now? I wish we would have just got the shit stomped out of us like your team did. Never any hope, never anything, never feeling good, never excited. And I was hesitant. I was anxious going into the game, worried about it. I thought it was going to be close, right? But I was like, I'm really worried. Man, off to a great start. Everything's rolling. Pick 6. Fuck yeah. Winning game 1 against a top 5 defense, against a great team. Hell yes. Now here we are today.
Yeah. At least with my team, you can expect the worst. You're kind of like, all right, we got the ball. I expect them to throw an interception here. Oh, hey, we did it. All right. A little shake of hope with my Miami Dolphins. Oh, man, they ran for a first down. Could it be? Could we have a run? No, he fumbled. It's one of those things. So that's how we watch, you know. That's how we watch. We just expect the worst. We're like, wow, I'm surprised the other team hasn't scored another touchdown yet. Maybe today. Maybe today the Dolphins will win. No, not really.
I mean, the chat, are you guys gonna cover the UFO hearing? Fuck no.
Is that today? I don't even know what that is.
Like, I don't look. Gary covers all that stuff. Forbidden Frontier, they do a great job covering that shit. I personally, here's my opinion on aliens and all this shit. I don't fucking care. I don't care.
That's my opinion. continue to.
If all this shit is real or whatever, and they've like traveled here, interdimensional beings, or where from far, whatever it is, I don't care, because they can destroy me with a snap of a fucking finger. Like they probably come down and look at this world and they're like, oh, what a bunch of goddamn retards. Like I could not give two shits about aliens, because if this shit is real, and I really don't care if it is or not, they're so much more advanced than we are. We are nothing to them. We are fucking ants to them. So why does it even matter? It's not even something to worry about. It's like if a fucking asteroid is coming to like blow up this entire planet, what are we gonna do?
I'd rather not know.
Who cares?
Somebody by the name of Hunter. I just don't have the chat up. Says, you mean the man who still has me banned? Where do I have you? Where are you banned? What channel? I'll look into that. Maybe one of the mods. I don't know.
Jay's a banner. I believe it.
I hardly ban anybody. What channel was it? I'll take care of that.
He did you wrong. Look, my policy usually is unless you're spamming, you don't get banned, because we like to make fun of people.
Yeah, same.
That's usually the case. So you never know. Yeah, it's a fucking dog shit day. I hate everything. I hate everyone. I hate myself. I hate my team. I hate the world. But the show must go on, Jay.
It must go on. That's right. That's it. Got a great show today. Sent Ryan a few things. And you know,
let's start off with the one. Maybe this can make us feel better, Jay. The John Candy. You were very excited about the John Candy little documentary, whatever that they've got coming out.
I didn't know this existed. Somebody sent it to me, and apparently Ryan Reynolds is involved. You know, Canadians taking care of each other, I guess. And they're making a John Candy documentary. I love John Candy movies. He was like the uncle you wanted to invite in your home. He was awesome. He just made those movies that everybody loved, you know, like everybody enjoyed. So I guess this is coming out on Amazon Prime October 10th. Tomorrow. No. Next month tomorrow. My God, I'm in September. Yeah, I'm in September. So
tomorrow.
Yeah, it's almost 3 minutes, but man, it's just like I don't know. It was shocking, like, to hear that he died. John Candy died at the age of 43 years old in Mexico while working on a film. So he was on his last film that was released. He was almost finished with the movie, and he was just in like this. He was obese, obviously, and had a heart attack. I think that's what. Yeah.
Let's watch.
Sorry, do some damage. Look at that.
I can't tell you what was right about John Candy or what was wrong, but he wasn't.
I missed him.
I don't want to cry, but when I see him,
does it make me cry?
When you see his face, I mean,
Just. Who are you?
I'm a Mog. Half man, half dog.
Gus Polinski, Polka King of the Midwest.
Del Griffin, Director of Sales, Shower Curtain Ring Division.
This is a lovable guy. This is a guy who, the minute you see his face, you're gonna smile. He was.
It is crazy that he died so young, but it feels like he was in so much stuff. For like
I know.
A period of time, you know.
That's the thing. Like he was in a lot of movies. So
Amazingly funny.
Thank you.
He was one of the top performers out of all of them.
Guess my secret to acting would be I pretend real hard.
Even though John did distinctly different characters, John was always there.
He was so gentlemanly and so Canadian.
Nobody had bigger expectations for himself than him.
And then all of a sudden, it kind of jumped to a different level.
I've made winning my whole life. And when you make winning your whole life, you have to keep on winning.
You've been in more turkeys than a stuffing mix.
I think the weight of everything he was doing was just too much.
The hazard of this business is that it's very unhealthy for people pleasers.
You can't really do favors for people.
It's a bottomless cup of coffee.
If you go a whole lifetime eating your feelings, drinking your feelings, smoking your nerves, it shows up.
That's the path I'm on today, Jay. To be honest with you, with my Bears.
I'm gonna narrate your documentary.
Well, It'll take a couple takes to probably mispronounce some stuff.
Some things that are just painful. That's it. You can't make them not.
Howard still reacting to the shocking news.
He's dead at the age of 43. But it's the face you put on the world that defines who you are.
He lived his life very much like the movies. He was the child that made everyone happy. And he was the adult that did that.
You know, I remember John caring when not a lot of people did.
Every time you go away,
This is no meager life we reflect on today.
you take a piece of.
This is as full a life as any human can live.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, Jennifer. How you doing?
Magnificent of visage, eyes and frame. A titan of a gentle, golden man.
Well, you think what you want about me. I'm not changing. I like me.
Looks like he's gonna be sad, Jay. Why do you want me to watch this?
Yeah, you motherfucker.
Well, I mean, they're gonna, you know, talk about his life, and he's in one of your favorite movies, man. Cool Runnings.
I love Cool Runnings.
You know, I like
Cool
documentaries.
Runnings.
I hope it's not too Debbie Downer.
Oh, it's so dumb.
You know,
somebody who died at 43. Of course, it's gonna be depressing.
I mean, look, you gotta remember, like, all the like, look at this. Here, I'm gonna share my screen. Look at this. Look at these amazing movies that we all have grown to love. Cool Runnings, Rookie of the Year. He was awesome in JFK as that attorney. You know, wasn't really comedic role. Uncle Buck, Home Alone.
So, some of these were like very small roles.
Yeah,
right?
like cameo. Right, Home Alone would consider.
Home Alone, really small role. Rookie of the Year. He was the announcer. I don't even know if he was in the credits, but yeah, like fairly small roles and stuff. But
Little Shop of Horrors. Armed and Dangerous was a great film if people have never seen that one. These are, yeah.
Uncle Buck.
Summer Rental is like one of my favorites. That thing is freaking hilarious.
Summer Rental's good.
He voice acted in the movie Heavy Metal. You can see all these naked women in cartoon form. He was in He was the cop for the theme park in Vacation. That was pretty good. I don't remember him I haven't seen Splash in forever, but yeah, these are all like supporting roles.
A lot of them were in, and to be like especially a lot of the SNL guys and stuff like that, like that came out in this era.
They're all friends.
They would often like just come in for a little role or whatever.
That's like in Happy Gilmore, all his friends.
To the Dark Lady's cause
they would all like pop in. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, the only Thanksgiving Day movie I think we have out, except for the horror film.
Baseballs.
The old hack was not qualified to clean chamber
where
pots
is
in Dalaran, let
The
alone
Great
represent
Outdoors?
the
I don't see that on
most
here.
dire hour.
But yeah, he was
Fools. Arugul
Great
used
Outdoors,
enchanted items to reinforce his weak magic.
It was a lot. Yeah, you're right. Like, he died at 43, but man, it seems like he was in a lot of things.
Slay Moonrage gluttons and Moonrage dark souls.
A lot of things.
Until you have collected enough
John
of their
Candy.
enchanted shackles for my
I'm
research.
gonna watch it. I'll watch it.
The foul creatures have been seen to
It
the
seems
north.
I'm sure it all can't be sad. I'm sure it all can't be depressing, you know. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they did that on purpose.
Yeah, it's so far away.
How do you
have
like,
a favorite candy
How do you
movie?
make it into a nice story?
Yeah, maybe.
This guy ate and drank himself into a 43-year-old casket, like. But he made everybody else laugh.
Yeah, that's true. You have a favorite one? Would it be Cool Runnings for you?
I love Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year
is
is
like one
great.
of my favorite sports movies of all time. As a young Cubs fan, to see like a 12-year-old kid who was a Cubs fan become like an
That's the
MLB
one where the
pitcher.
kid breaks his arm, right?
He breaks his arm.
And they
he
heals
sucks
funny.
at baseball. He sucks at baseball. He breaks his arm, and it like has to be put in a fucking cast like this because of the way it happened. And when it gets taken off, they're like, "Oh, your muscles might be a little tight. Your tendons might be a little
so
tight
he has
because
this
of
crazy.
that." He goes to a game in the bleachers. The Cubs are miserable, of course, and shit. A home run, like there's a home run that gets hit, And, you know, opposing team, when you hit a home run into the bleachers, you better throw that shit back. Those are the rules, right? If you're sitting in the bleachers. So he gets it from like center field and just, boom, just fires the ball directly to home. And the owner is like, oh, we got to talk to this kid. We got to talk to this kid right now. Like they're thinking like, look at the money, thinking of all this stuff. And the kid ends up being a focal point of the team and, you know, the rallying cry for this team. And the old pitcher who's done ends up with his mom. Like it's a great movie, okay? And then he loses it. He loses it after he hurts his arm again. And so he's got to like do some slow pitch bullshit. I love Rookie of the Year, dude.
We might have to invite you on the Monday Hangover when we do that film.
Maybe, yeah.
As if you don't have enough streams on Monday.
Make it after NFL season.
Okay.
Because it's like...
yeah.
Bro, now my Mondays are like... This stream...
You don't leave that seat, do you?
Yesterday I didn't much because I had a lot. I had stuff going on in between that I had to do. But yeah, this stream, Monday evening quarterback at 6:30, FML at 9. Yeah, rough. It was a lot.
That would have been different if the Bears would have won. Would we have seen a little more like energetic, maybe?
I mean, so stoked this morning, dude.
Yeah. Okay.
Master Austin with a gifted membership. Thanks, Master Austin. Alex McCarthy, Shiitake, Meta PC code RK Outpost for Drunk 3PO.
Thank you. Alex. Thank you.
Eric K, Bears gonna Bears. Yeah, at this point, I'm starting to think that doesn't matter the GM, doesn't matter the coach, doesn't matter the quarterback, doesn't matter the year. Everything's the same.
When was the last time they won a Super Bowl? Was it the 85 Bears?
Yeah. Well, the 85 Bears, I guess technically it might have been in 86 when the Super Bowl was.
Yeah, that's the Super Bowl shuffle.
They called the shot, man.
Yeah.
And we're still hung up on that. They did the 40th anniversary of that team celebration before the game.
They lost one game that year.
To the Dolphins. Yeah.
That would have been a great Super Bowl, but Miami, of course, in Miami fashion, screwed it up and lost to an underperforming Patriots team. The Dolphins and the Bears, that would have been an awesome Super Bowl. As soon as the Patriots got to the Super Bowl, it was over and done.
Yeah,
the Bears weren't losing that game. There's
That's
no
the
way
most lopsided Super Bowl in history.
That would
Keenan, have y'all been on a swing ride at the amusement park?
Yes. I don't really do that much anymore.
Swing ride.
Are you talking about like
the ones
this
where
way?
you sit? I don't know whether he's going like this or the ones where you sit down in like a big kind of chair with it attached to a chain, and as it spins, it like moves you out as you go around. You know what I'm talking about?
You see the one at Icon Park that goes up so high in Orlando? Those chairs where like all those people died. Kid died. They took that ride down. They had another incident before that.
No. That was not one of those. That was
No. I know, but I'm saying the same theme, like the same area. It's like all their attractions that they built at Icon Park. Except for that swing that goes ridiculously high. And all you got is like a little bar to keep you in. It's like that's not for me, man. I will not do that one, especially with the traction of that park, having people die on that park.
Yeah, some fat kid fucking couldn't get buckled in and fell out.
He fell out. Oh.
Who do you think has to clean that up? Like, whose job is
the
it?
people at the park, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, whose responsibility is it? Like, to clean that shit up after the cops are done with any investigation.
They probably go in the middle of the night, right? Like when it's closed, I'm assuming. Try to. Ugh.
I don't fucking know. I know for some people, like if you have if somebody dies or whatever, like at the house, and like whether it's like an accident, like whatever, the cops might come in and like do their investigation, do all their stuff, and then if they give you like the go ahead, you're responsible. Like they take the body with you. You're responsible for like cleaning the shit up sometimes.
Yeah, well, that's like, you know, if a burglar comes into your house.
It's your house, you know.
You shoot his brains out.
Yeah.
Florida law, you know. You're not charged or anything. They'll come in and be like, all right, we'll get the body out, but
But like you got,
stains are for
yeah,
you.
think about it, you got to clean the brains off this fucking house off the floor.
I think I'd call someone and be like, "Hey, there's been an accident over here."
Consuela.
Yeah, I think I'd call someone and leave for a weekend.
Hey Maria, got a job for you.
Yeah,
that's where you find an illegal immigrant. You know, they'll do the job. But like for that's what I'm like for like big public things like that. If like if somebody fucking dies on the sidewalk, is there a guy employed by the city that is just like sitting there with like some cleaning solution and scrubbing blood off a sidewalk? That's my question, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I know there's like the people that will come to your house if like you have a flood and clean all that up. They also clean specialty things too, but I don't know what that specialty stuff is. Could be bodies. Hey, before you listen, we got breaking news, man. This is great. This is great news coming out of Cracker Barrel. I don't know if it's breaking. I think it is. This is the first I've heard of it. You guys, all the comments, the tweeting and all that stuff, they said they heard you guys. We're continuing to listen. Today we're suspending our remodels. If your restaurant hasn't been remodeled, you don't need to worry. It won't be. It's staying. All that nonsense, all that fluff, all that talking, all that we're gonna change the logo, we're gonna change the inside, we're gonna change it all. They were like, we decided not to change anything.
Some people they better saying is old news. This is not old news. The logo is old news, but when they came out with that, hey, don't worry, we're not gonna change the logo. Well, the logo is just part of the problem. The other part is changing everything inside. Complete modernized remodel of this bullshit. Like that was the other part of the problem. And they didn't say anything about that a few weeks ago. So clearly the pressure's still on them. Bro, they spent so much money, $700 million to like do this thing. They're just being like, hey, don't worry, we're not changing. Holy shit.
Wow. If anyone's gonna get fired after that,
they need to. Logan Johnson, fuck my life.
Health warning.
This morning. I posted fuck my life after the Bears lost, and I had like so many people being like, he's finally tired of his great ways. Like, you dumb, like, you dumb cock-sucking queers are so fucking caught up in that you don't even realize that people are watching Monday Night fucking football. You goddamn pussies. You
crazy thing is, Ryan never tweets. He's like tweets like twice a week.
Yeah.
So when he puts something out there, all these people are just like, "It's happening, guys! It's happening. He's gonna die." It's crazy people.
Well, yeah, they're very excited. I should maybe scroll through some of those mentions and see like some of the stuff that's there. Bunghole Festival for 10. Jay don't want this.
Correct.
Keenan for $2. How long can you last on a pogo?
Health warning.
0 seconds. I probably could get one good jump out of it, and the pogo stick would break. I think my girth would just end its life.
I had one when I was younger. Like when I was a kid, I had one. I could fucking, I could do it.
Health
get some jumps on there.
Yeah, I could do it.
Give me a couple
like little warm-ups, or like give me a couple little warm-ups to get used to.
Health warning.
That thing.
You know, like the first jump, and then it kind of like the weight will just carry me over.
Health warning.
Tobias, the surest sign of intelligent life in the universe is that they avoid Earth like the plague. No smart aliens would come here unless we're some reality TV show.
I will include you in watch your back, my superiors.
Read Tobias. What do they think of furries?
Argo.
Michael King, member for 5 months. If I was abducted by aliens, I would consider it a rescue mission. Yeah, you're telling me that these motherfuckers travel from other dimensions or from across the universe and some shit, and they just come here, kill a couple cows, and like butt rape a couple dudes? Like that's what they're here for? Like, come on. Like, you know, like, what are we fucking
anal probing.
Like, what are we doing?
We have superior technology. We want to see what's up your butt.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Keenan, ever hear the Prince song, The Beautiful Ones?
I think so.
Probably, yeah. Bunghole Festival for 2. Spaceballs was my shit. Spaceballs is fun. They had, like, Spaceballs 2 has so much potential. Unfortunately, it's being made now. But like, there is so much material for them to use because of how bad Star Wars has been. It could be so funny. Probably won't.
Not with Josh Gad running it.
Logan Johnson for 20. Had to take my car in Friday due to a dead battery. An AWD acting up. And just got a notification showing the cost of repairs. Fuck my life. But I love John Candy, man. That sucks. Whenever you got like weird little electronic faults and stuff going on, get rough.
Especially when you get that light.
Yeah, the lights are just like they're just distractions. Just drive through them, you know.
Yeah.
Me and Jay saw a lot of warning lights pop up.
I've generally felt bad for you because our road trip. That was one of the best ones. Florida, Tennessee, Dallas, back around to Florida again. It was pretty awesome.
It sucked, dude. Like,
what were we gone? Like a week, 2 weeks?
I forget what the exact problem was, to be honest.
It just overheated, right?
I had an issue with a portion of the engine was overheated. And it was gonna cost so much to fucking get it fixed, and I'm like, I'm not doing this. We're in the middle of this trip. We've got a schedule to keep. So I could only really make it like 30 or 45 minutes driving at a time before I started to get that overheat warning and had to stop for a while. And that's how we did the trip, man. We did the fucking trip by about every. Now when it got a little cooler outside, when the sun went down, that helped a little bit.
Yeah, we
could go a little longer stretches.
We were going up the mountains in Tennessee, man. It was like we could see that morning. Like it was coming quick. Going down the mountain, not so much.
Yeah, it was rough. And so what I did as soon as I got back, I fucking I traded that shit in. Didn't tell them anything was wrong with it. Obviously, they offered me way more than it was actually fucking worth. I traded that shit in.
And I spilled coffee in your brand new car the next day.
Yeah, the next trip we went on after I got it, I spilled coffee. Where's the Chris Farley documentary? Says Bunghole Festival.
Health warning.
Paige and Corey for 5. What did the scientists say when you found 2 helium atoms? Hee hee.
Paige and Corey.
Get it? Joshua Henderson, is Superman 2025 a flop or no? I wouldn't describe it as a flop. Now, this bullshit about like them putting out this, oh, it made $125 million in theatrical profit. That's so strange because one, it's not true completely. This is a movie that may have, if the numbers they've given us are accurate, may have come close to just breaking even, right? If the budget numbers they give us are true. But these same organizations, they are literally just putting out Warner Brothers talking points. That's what that report is.
We don't have to crack open the article, but this is what Ryan's talking about. Following the massive success deadline. Yeah.
There's a different article that came out from Variety, maybe.
Yeah.
Like talking about, and look, Warner Brothers has had a very solid year, a very good year in general. I would say Superman is like maybe the least of those things to be happy about, because although it didn't stick out the box office, when you talk about the money that went into it. But when you have things like Sinners and Weapons and now Conjuring Last Rites with a big fucking opening, a lot, like their biggest successes this year have come from these kind of intermediate budget movies that are making solid money for them. And then they got the distribution deal for F1, which I think they just got paid a certain percentage off. They didn't make that movie, obviously, so they made a little money on that. But health warning, because these same people writing these articles, repeating the Warner Brothers talking points, are the same people that told you a couple years ago that with a smaller budget and marketing budget, that Black Adam needed $600 million to break even at the box office. That's so strange, isn't it? But yeah, it's Warner Brothers spin and talking points that are coming out in that article. I would not call it a flop. I think that is a movie that if the budget is real, then they are probably in the threshold of breaking even at the box office. I think the budget's much higher. I do think it's disappointing. 100% it has to be. It's less than Man of Steel. It's less than the $800 to $1 billion that people were predicting before it came out. It is overall a little disappointing. That's why you saw the early release to digital, so they could desperately try to recoup some of those funds. But I don't think I would call it a flop. No.
But it's definitely not a massive success.
It is not. No. But we do have. I can't believe that the person in charge of the studio greenlighted a sequel from himself. Oh.
Yeah. How does that work?
Doesn't that tell you just how incredible it is? The person who's in charge of making these decisions decided to do it. Oh, come on. But there is, we were having all these talks, Jay, about who would rule the summer box office, what would happen, who's gonna win.
Oh my gosh,
is it gonna be Superman? Is it gonna be Fantastic Four? Is it gonna be Jurassic World Rebirth? Well, despite the summer box office being abysmally bad, with a lot of movies underperforming, the winner of those, and I'm talking about the July summer that we were talking about, obviously not back in May with like Lilo and Stitch, but the winner was Jurassic World Rebirth. And even though I didn't think it was a very good movie, it made, it's closing in on $890 million, somewhere around there at the box office. And it looks like we're gonna get another one. This is a report that's going right now. New Jurassic World movie reportedly in the works. Scarlett Johansson supposedly set to star.
It looks like she's getting her trilogy. Maybe they made enough to give her own Jurassic World trilogy. What in the heck could this movie be about? Is it going to be a new pharmaceutical guy saying, hey, look, I know you were with the last one. We're different. We need to go back there and maybe get those vials. Is she going to cry on a boat just for no apparent reason and think about somebody that we don't even know about? Like, what's going to happen in this film? I don't know. But I kind of figured this was going to, as long as they keep making money on 100, what was that budget? 180?
The budget was only 180 million.
Yeah,
reportedly.
If they're doing this well and making crappy dinosaur films and it's still doing well, they're gonna keep turning these suckers out, man. Until nobody will show up for them anymore.
This is my recommendation. They didn't try very hard for too much like human storyline stuff that really mattered in it. Try even less. That's my recommendation. Try even less. Let us know just enough about these people to basically like maybe know their names or their role on a team or something, and then have a bunch of dinosaurs kill them and make it actually scary. Like, just do that. And it was not a good movie. Although I'll admit, I enjoyed Jurassic World Rebirth more than I enjoyed the last Jurassic World movie, Jurassic World Dominion or whatever that was. I thought that was fun.
I enjoyed it better than the last two.
Yeah,
I had more fun.
Really bad as well.
I don't know, man. I had more fun in watching this than Fantastic Four. I had a lot. The theater was just, I don't know. I guess I had a good theater. I got lucky where everybody was excited, everybody was into it, everybody was laughing, screaming, clapping.
Make it a little more like Primitive War. Give us a little more scary, a little more scary like we saw with Primitive War. That's what I would like.
Maybe they'll be like the first ever R-rated Jurassic Park film, and then maybe that'll get people back in theaters. We'll see.
I think you need to keep. I think you can keep it PG-13 and still have like enough blood and scary deaths and
enough
even
people
some
getting chewed up.
Yeah, I think you can do it. Look at what we saw with the first Jurassic Park movie, right?
That's true. All right, that's true. That's true.
And some of it can just be implied deaths. You don't need to see every gruesome detail necessarily, but when Samuel L. Jackson's hand goes on and comes off, and it's all that shit. Like, you saw a T-Rex eat a guy off a toilet. I mean,
yeah,
can have some stuff.
That's true. I bet she gets a trilogy. I bet they made enough where they're going to greenlight 2 more films.
Look, you make almost $900 million on a $180 million budget. I think that does justify another one, and I don't think it's good, but people enjoyed it. People went.
Maybe they'll get M&Ms to cause the chaotic scene this time instead of Snickers.
I don't know if that was just like product placement or what.
I wonder if that'll ever come out. They're like, Snickers reportedly paid $5 million to be the rapper that causes the chaos. 5 or 10 million bucks.
Alex McCarthy for 2. Until I got paralyzed, I weighed 366 pounds. Now I'm at 186. Being paralyzed saves lives.
That's one way to do it.
That's one way. The cock. I'm hungover. I feel worse than Beardo looks in my profile picture. Tobias for 5. Hollywood is dead. Hollywood is dead, deadly to everyone who goes near it. Career and life. It's destroyed good people, ruin lives, money, and fame. Don't save good lives. Thank you, Tobias. Magnum Norse for 10. Liam Neeson can't replace the true Leslie Nielsen.
No one can replace him. Absolutely. But I did find that movie funny.
Bro,
you never saw that, did you?
No. The one joke I continue to see going viral from it is you killed my father or whatever. And he's like, yeah, you could be talking about thousands of people. And it's like he was like it was like, yeah, you murdered my father. That could be thousands of people. He was running away and you shot him in the back. Oh, it could be hundreds. He was white.
Yeah.
So your father is this guy. Like, bro, I thought that was. I've just seen that clip floating around. That shit's funny, dude.
Wait till you see the infrared scene. Woo. Oh man, I'm buying this, man. When this comes out, hold on. Here we go. We talked about it yesterday. Where can we get the Ryan version of cream of wheat? Let's do this. Look how happy you are on that box, baby.
I got a steaming bowl of wheat.
We can change it to cream of white.
Is that what you want to eat, Jay?
No. I was trying to think of a racist joke. I'm not very good at them.
Instead, it turned gay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll just stick with the cripple joke.
Good try. Good try. A Money Wilson for $1. First meetup in Vegas. I walked down street next to saw a dead body on the sidewalk. So paramedics drive up and collect the body.
Whoa, man, that's rough.
I'll be honest, I stayed at Luxor once and I wanted to kill myself. So,
Same here.
Like, I feel that guy's pain.
Same here, Luxor. Like, some woman stole my, I used to wear a fedora. Some lady took my hat. She was wearing like a, it wasn't a bikini top. We had just finished the meetup. I went back to Luxor. I had a few drinks, whatever. I'm at the freaking craps table. I put my hat down, and she was wearing it, and like, it's gonna bring you good luck, whatever. And I don't remember what happened. The hat was forever gone.
I think you're better off without that hat.
Yeah, it was time.
It was a phase. And,
yeah, it was time. It was over.
It got ended. And it was good.
Some lady in Vegas is wearing that hat.
She's probably dead. Also on locals. In Roku, this isn't a complaint, but you guys save all gaming topics for TNME and the Wednesday Daily. You guys talk about shows, movies, and stupid actors, but the release of Hollow Knight Silk Song last Thursday made a huge noticeable impact. Don't retire from Daily, Jay. It just kind of depends on what's on my radar at any given time, and I do know that those guys usually are very gaming heavy on there and on Wednesday when they come on. Also, that's kind of one of the reasons. But yeah, I mean, when you have an indie project like that, with a relatively small budget that's developed by a couple guys for years of their life, and immediately like $500,000 on Steam on that first day, and people melting down because they're only charging $20. It is an interesting story. Over on Rumble, Derek PG Beller for $1 says, did he say funky butt loving? Ryan gets the reference. That's Rookie of the Year. Stephen Strange for Buck. At least the Bears have a Super Bowl ring. Bike Queens fan. Hey, yeah.
The Vikings never won a Super Bowl.
I don't believe so, no. Not in my recollection. There's a handful of teams that have not, no? Interesting. Lions never won. It's certainly a lot, like, it's tough to, you can't really count the teams like, oh, the Panthers and the Jags.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, the teams that were created within the last, like, 25 years. That's not really the same as people that have been around since the 60s and still haven't won one. Sorry, Ryan, at least the Vikings still lost me my fantasy week. Fuck my life. Right, I see. Sorry to hear that. Tobias Rob, generally I'd assume a specialized hazmat team does the cleanup. Human remains are considered hazardous material and can't be handled by just anyone. Well, the remains, yes, but all the blood and fucking shit that people leave behind and stuff like that, sometimes that ends up being the responsibility of like the
homeowner.
The homeowner and shit, yes. So I'm not talking about people. I got a dead body. What I do here? Shit happens with the body itself. I'm talking about everything else. Magnum Norse. Nobody will read this, therefore I'm done.
We just read it.
Well, and then Magnum Norse for $5 says nothing. And then Magnum Norse says, Tobias is furry ass fuck. He's a demon monkey. Magnum Norse might be a little drunk. I respect it.
11:30.
Ministry of Wrongthink. Cracker Barrel still lost. They've had cooks blow the whistle. All their food is pre-frozen and not cooked fresh anymore. They also make their employees take unconscious racial bias testing.
I have heard that too, yeah. I have heard
that. Like, because of the attention that got put on them, they have a lot of work to do. They've done a lot of
correct.
There's no doubt.
That's why I was like, hopefully someone gets fired through all this stuff.
Spiders.
So.
Carol Hall. 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Carol. With a nice flower in the morning. I wish it could cheer me up. President Balls. We travel millions of light years to reach planet Earth. What should we do first? Shove a probe up Billy Bob's butthole.
Exactly. And then we'll take a cow.
Then we'll slaughter a cow randomly. We just want its blood. I don't know.
That's right.
Graham Robbins for 5. Cajun Corey's science joke gave me a large hadron.
I don't know what that means. Yeah.
Eventually, it'll rattle around and collide in your head there. So. Taker for 5. Ryan, your description of what 49ers fans like to do in San Francisco on Monday Evening Quarterback had me in stitches. Also, your evaluation of Seattle Stadium design. I do my best.
Taker loves you, man. He freaking loves you.
Thank you, Taker. He's been around forever.
Yeah, he's been pretty faithful. He's a Ryan guy for sure.
Ryan guy.
I know
it's not easy, bro.
No.
Being a Ryan guy, that's like being a Bears fan, bro. There's gonna be some rough moments. It's not for the weak.
But I have learned my place at Geeks and Gamers. Usually, I'm easier to spot than Ryan. Just look for a big guy just bumbling around. They're like, hey, is Ryan with you? It's usually what happens 80% of the time. So, you know, happened a lot like that. One MegaCon, I kept bringing people to. I was like, I know where he is. Follow me. There he is. There he is. There he is.
People that were like coming out of the Gina line, just kept shoveling over there.
They're asking where you were.
Hello, says Vlad the man. You like cereal, no milk, weirdo. I like it separately.
It's a big difference.
I ain't just taking it dry the whole time. Like, come on. Old man Jay. In the future, Beardo is still bald.
Look at that.
Oh my.
Is that a picture of my brother?
It says Old Man Jay. I don't know who it is. Maybe it's Bob Chapek with a face on it or something. Because it is your face on there.
Got a nice haircut.
I gotta get one. My hair's long.
I just wanted to like, honestly, I almost too guarded the whole thing. It's just like, going with it.
TG for 5. We need a book accurate word.
Health warning.
I agree.
Yeah, I hear the Jurassic Park
Health warning.
book was insane.
0 for 2. Hey Jay, where'd you get that sweet hat?
9lineapparel.com. You can also get a matching shirt for a discount. Use code DRUNK3PO20 to save you on shipping.
There you go. Bungles Twanger for 2. We were too poor for cream of wheat. We had Farina.
I don't even know what that is.
I ain't never heard of that shit.
Me either.
Cream of wheat expensive?
And I was
My
poor.
God.
Farina.
Oats aren't very expensive. Joshua Henderson for 5. These Jurassic World movies are like a fast food at this point. And everyone's getting sick of it, just mindlessly eating it up. I like fast food. Navy 2-0. Let's go Navy. You're damn right. Let's go Navy. I got to watch Navy kick the shit out of fucking Notre Dame at Notre Dame. God, it must have been 15 years ago. One of my most favorite college football experiences ever was right before I officially joined the Navy, and Navy was playing Notre Dame, so got to go. It was fun. Bunghole Festival. You know where the party is, so don't even ask. Maximus for Buck says, Shiitake. Thank you.
Oh, hey, Ryan, look at Farina. It's the only place I can find it is Amazon. Look at this picture. Is that you?
I don't got blue eyes.
So you have cream of wheat with the black guy, and the cheaper one for the poor people is with the white kids and blue eyes.
Creamy hot wheat cereal.
Oh, look at his teeth.
Those still his baby teeth. His permanent one's got to come in. He's still got space there.
Ah.
Jester of Roanoke do aliens. What happens on Earth stays on Earth. Wasp for 5. Jade, does 9line sell white Crocs too?
Hey. Listen, she accidentally put that in like a super chat the other day and actually said something else. And now
you said
it's
white Crocs, didn't you?
Yeah. We don't sell that, Wasp. Thanks for asking.
Well, that's good to know. We got another story we got to talk about. I found this really fucking funny. If I'm gonna be honest with you, I gotta make sure my volume's boosted here because it's a little bit low for most of it. So make sure we're good. But Jay, we've seen the entertainment industry kind of collapse in on itself. And even though there was a couple of years of complete total denial from people in the entertainment industry, from the media, everything, everyone knows there's something wrong with Hollywood. Now, are there multiple reasons for that? Yes, of course. When you look at the state of the industry, with how streaming's impacted things, people's priorities, the bad shit that we continue to get. But one of the things that's undeniable that's had an effect on people deciding not to spend so much time on this or that from the entertainment industry has to be the activism. Whether it's the actors, the directors, the producers speaking out about this stuff, or whether the content itself is just straight up propaganda. But if you were worried that the actors wanted that to stop or finally giving up, don't worry. Because they're not, at least according to some. I found this story hilarious for multiple reasons. But here you have Ayo Edebiri, young black actress in The Bear, most famously. She's been around for a few years, but not very long. Relatively newcomer to Hollywood. Hashtag MeTooBLM aren't dead if you ask me, but you only asked my co-stars. And this stems from an interview where it is Andrew Garfield, Julia Roberts, and Ayo Edebiri. Andrew Garfield, Julia Roberts, certainly Julia Roberts has been in the industry for a long, long time. Andrew Garfield's been around for a couple decades as well at this point. A question gets asked to them, and the question is effectively, and it's from like a European journalist, so they don't speak great English. The question is effectively, hey, now that this politically correct era in Hollywood has kind of been a disaster and the Me Too movement and the Black Lives Matter movement are dead, what do you think this means? What do you think Hollywood missed on? What does it mean for the future of the entertainment industry? And the question was not to the black woman. It was to the two white people. And she took that personally, apparently. Let's go into this.
What we lost during the political era and what we expect in order after the Me Too movement and the Black Lives Matter.
Isn't that Andrew Garfield?
And Andrew Garfield just looks, he's like, wait, what? What the fuck? What do you mean the Me Too era and the Black Lives Matter movement are done? And are you asking me?
Andrew and Julia.
Well, okay. Can you repeat that? And I with your sunglasses on, I can't tell which of us you're talking to. So.
So the question was for Julia and Andrew. Now.
The question was for Julia and Andrew, and watch how she reacts. How offended she's getting that she wasn't asked this question.
Now that the Me Too era and the Black Lives Matter are done, what we have to expect in Hollywood, and what we lost, if we lost something with the politically correct era.
Well,
It's
I
not
didn't.
done.
Sorry.
I know that that's not for me, and I don't know if it's purposeful if it's not me, but I just am curious. I don't think it's done. I agree
It's
with
not
you.
done.
I don't think it's done at all. I think maybe hashtags might not be used as much, but I do think that there's work being done by activists, by people every day. That's beautiful, important work. That's not finished. That's really, really, really active.
I need to get closer.
For a reason. And that work isn't finished at all. Maybe if there's not mainstream coverage in the way that there might have been.
Look at Andrew, just like, yeah.
They're like, hey, let's let the black woman speak about Black Lives Matter being dead, please. Yeah.
8 or so years ago, but I don't think that it means that. That's what I would say.
And that the movements have been altered in any way.
Yes.
Like the movements are still absolutely alive, as you said, maybe not as.
You don't know what to say. It's like the movement, it's alive, maybe, yeah, or it's different.
And the thing is, the question is not about those movements, right? The question, and those movements are dead for the public, right? They're incredibly unpopular. Nobody cares about them anymore. They've been fucking exposed. Nobody cares about Me Too. Nobody cares about BLM. In fact, it's very negative when you bring up these things at this point in time. Now, in the entertainment industry, some activists still are trying to push it. That doesn't mean it's dead like that. Like, it's not like no one's trying to push this shit anymore. They are. But from the audience's perspective, it is dead. The question was about the state of the industry after going through this period of political correctness that is kind of failed, and where do you go now? That is not answered at all.
Health warning.
Iowa Debris didn't. All she talked about was how BLM is still a thing. It's still powerful. People are still working on it. Not anything about the industry. And the wild shit is everybody's trying to make it a big deal because a white reporter asked two white people and not the black person about this question. The reason, and Vera brought this up last night, like the reason that these two people are getting asked the question is because they've been in the entertainment industry for a while. They've been around. Iowa Debris did not have any fucking roles until BLM was already very present on the scene for these last 5 years, this era in Hollywood. She's a very young actress. Like, they're asking two people who have been around in the entertainment industry for a while and started at the start of this politically correct era and turned into what it is now. Where do we go from here? Maybe that's why they got asked the question. Maybe that's why you got excluded. Not because you're fucking black, but because you're like 5 years old into your career. Maybe. Just maybe.
Yeah, but they're still living in like 2016, 2017. I don't even, why even ask a question like that though, but that's Hollywood. I guess they feel like they're that important that they push the narrative, that they can push the activists, that their creative thing that they do over there is helping drive the movements and pushing the activists to be more active, I guess. But yeah, I mean, Me Too is done. BLM is found to be fraud. You know, stealing a lot of money, so it's kind of like kind of weird question, honestly.
Well,
and poor Andrew just like, Sure, the activists of the activists of the activists.
Well, I think the question is interesting. I think, like, if it was phrased maybe from somebody that spoke English a little bit better, like maybe it, like, imagine asking this question to these people. Hey, over the last couple of years, we've seen the entire collapse of this, like, politically correct aspect of pushing this propaganda, pushing the Me Too movement, pushing the Black Lives Matter movement. That has been rejected by your audience, and now the audience is fleeing away in droves. What do you take away from that? What do you think that Hollywood potentially missed out on during that time, and where do you go from here? That's an interesting question if they have to answer that honestly. You know? Instead, they focused on the validity of the movements instead of what it's done to the industry. And now this the reporter's being bashed on Instagram as a racist for not including Io Debris.
Of course she is.
All this shit. And
of course she is.
Look, Jay, do you think that they that the white people showed good allyship in letting the black woman speak here?
Sure. Well, I don't know. This stuff is so exhausting, man. It is just so tiring. It is just like, I'm so over all this stupidity that we see coming out of here. I'm sure they weren't, right?
Apparently, according to black people, it wasn't enough. This is on BET.com. Opinion. Iowa Debris schooled Hollywood on grace, while her co-stars flunked allyship.
Health warning.
At the Venice Film Festival, Debris shut down an exclusionary question. But Julia Roberts and Andrew Garfield's silence proved representation without action is just PR.
Great.
So it's not even enough that they clarified to try to figure out who was being asked the question, and Io Debris stepped in and said her entire fucking piece, and then they were like, they echoed her shit and supported her. That's not enough. What should they do? Now, I think they should fucking actually give an honest answer about what the question was. But from their perspective, what the fuck do you want them to do? Do you want them to shout at the journalists and get upset at them for not including, like, this person? Yeah. Is that what you wanted?
Yeah.
It's never fucking...
No, it's never enough. Never will be enough. It doesn't matter what they did. It wouldn't have mattered what they did. If everything they did was absolutely right, it is their duty as these crazy activist journalists to constantly put down people that they don't like, people of color that they don't like, whatever it is. It is their duty to do that, no matter what is done. And like you said, it will never be enough. It is so tiring. I'm so, like, over all that stuff. I could care less. Call me racist, whatever. I just don't care. It's just like they will constantly push this stupidity, but we're getting to this place where people are just like, I'm over it. I'm over this stupidity. I'm over these people. Over all of it. I'm over it. Done. Never enough for you people. Never enough. What do you mean, you people, Jay? That's what I mean. Never enough.
He said duty.
Yeah, I did.
A lot. Ministry of Wrongthink. Ryan, you worried about who has to clean up pieces of brain matter afterwards get close to home for you? It's just a question, you know? Just a question. After last night, maybe.
He might
Health warning.
Nader's Brick channel for 5. Don't talk about aliens probing. It gets Beardo excited.
Health warning.
Beardo's running through cornfields begging for aliens to come down. Right. Old Man Jay. Tucker Carlson had this guy on yesterday. Looks like Jay. It's like, the problem is like, if I saw a blew up picture of it, I could probably maybe identify this person, but the way we see it and the way I see it, it's so small.
Yeah, it's really little.
It's like, it's very tough to tell. It almost looks like Andrew Whitworth, but I'm pretty sure it's Andrew Whitworth. Where the fuck? Why did I hop all the way up to the top of the tab? Rolling the Wretched for $20. Can't watch it, not for long, ladies. Goodell's gone woke. Eventually, it goes from the Black Anthem to the end zone virtue from Swift doing the Super Bowl halftime. And finally, weird cheerleader. Unfortunately for your take there, Roland, the NFL is more popular than it's ever been. I mean, despite the complaints that people do have about it.
Health warning.
But I respect your decision. And thank you, Ryan. Hey, Ryan, you hear Taco Bell's bringing back the Cool Ranch Locos Tacos? I did see that. Let's go. Cool Ranch Doritos Locos Tacos. Also, hi, J-Bear.
Hey. Hi.
Bunghole Festival. My homie George is never dead. He will always... Some slurs...
Something a woman.
Woman. Thanks, Bunghole. Magnum Norse for 5. I'm sure that Sir George will have a great time. And then Magnum Norse for 2. Jay ain't going on local railway no mo.
Ah, man. I used to live in Haiti.
Far away. Yeah, look. Public transportation, like buses or trains or stuff like that, depending on the time that we go.
Oh my god, there he is.
Some bad shit can happen, as we saw.
I'm fucked.
Health warning.
As we saw, which is pretty fucked up. Hey, Jay, do you still have that Chewbacca thing pulled up?
I thought, yeah, hold on. I did. I was showing Ryan this earlier. We're gonna end on a happy note. Right here. Did you know, Ryan, you could go to Home Depot? I know this is what you want in your house. And get a 7-foot animated Chewbacca. It's incredible. Wait, I gotta play the video. Hold on, let me blow this up. Look at that thing. Man, it's got a candy cane, the Santa hat. Hold on.
Trust no one. I heard of your successful raid against the Rock.
Okay, this is the problem right here. If you give it to someone like Ryan. If he leaves it on in the middle of the night, let's say Ryan had a bad night, the Bears lose, had a little whiskey every now and then, and all of a sudden you wake up in the middle of the night to walk to the kitchen or something, and you activate freaking 7'5" Chewbacca. You might be putting a round or two.
There must be a reason for the Scourge's occupation of the area.
You might be swinging at this thing because you forgot to set it up.
Yeah, like you'd have to make sure you unplug that shit at night because I don't want that thing going off. I don't need to hear that thing. It's pretty good, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know how much it is, but that's pretty cool.
I don't think we have a price yet.
I saw a Goofy one from Home Depot as well. It's like Goofy sitting down, like reading a story, and he like reads a couple poems, or probably Night Before Christmas or something, and he sings a couple songs.
There's no video, but somebody put that there. There's the Goofy that reads.
Yeah.
That could read to anyone in the house.
I think I saw this like $100, maybe $200 at Home Depot, but like, yeah, the animatronics that you can have at home, you buy them at Home Depot. Looks decent.
Someone's gonna take that and put that on the toilet and scare somebody one day.
Yeah, that's true.
Giant Goofy.
Bro, look at the feet on Goofy. Those big floppy feet.
I know.
Imagine how big the hog is on Goofy. The thing's wrapped around his knee.
Everybody wants one, right?
You like the Goofy movie?
I haven't seen it in a long time, but yeah, it was good.
I loved the Goofy movie.
It was good with Max and everything. Yeah.
All right, well.
Good father-son thing.
It is. It's a good father-son thing. But that's gonna do it for us. We've hit our time. We've hit our threshold. It's all over now. We're done. It's over. Dead. Buried. Today sucks. Today is awful. Today's the worst. What do you got going on, Jay?
It's just gonna be making more comic book videos. We're going through the Duke now. We just finished Cobra Commander, and we're gonna go through Duke. So can't wait. I love making those films.
I am forsaken.
Those little mini movies. Yeah, like those little mini movies with the comic book art and stuff. I love making that stuff.
What is it?
I have enjoyment.
Thundarius, we don't have much space, but we got a 3.5-foot tall gremlin animatronic for our vape shop for October and December decoration. That's cool. 3.5 feet, damn. Farewell. Big ass gremlin. Big ass gremlin. But guys, that'll do it for us. We won't be here tomorrow.
No.
Somebody will, probably. I don't care. And we might see you Thursday if we make it through the week. Thanks for hanging out, everybody, on Locals, Rumble, wherever you're at. We appreciate it. And we We'll talk to you later.
Health warning. Health warning. Health warning.
That's crazy. Fuck.
Need more rage. Not enough rage.
Health warning. Health warning. Health warning.
auction house in... Damn, I gotta get all the way back to fucking... Interesting.
Health warning. Health warning. Health warning. I smoke my first.
not very good at spying, but trust me, I am able to. An order from the Sepulchre? Very well. It is an honor to serve those who serve our Dark Lady.
I have placed the Sepulchre's supplies into this crate. If you have already visited the Sepulchre and spoken with their Batmaster, then you may ride a bat back to him. Speak with the Undercity's Batmaster, Michael Garrett. He can provide you with a bat to the Sepulchre.
I'm always falling into this thing, it's so annoying. Come on, send that to the other guy. Oh. Okay. God damn this fucking phone. Okay.
Go to that one place today?
I'll have to call.
My brain hurts.
What the hell's that? Alright, smoke real quick and then we'll finish doing some of these quests. Alright, I gotta make a phone call here in a minute. Oh shit, I gotta make a phone call.
may I be of service?
Embrace this crate must reach the That is easily done. Our bats fly there daily. The Batmaster in the Sepulchre is Karos Razok. If you have already met him, then I can give you a bat to fly back to him. Our bats will always fly to the Undercity, but to travel to more remote locales, their rider must first visit the area and speak with its Batmaster. You have met Karos in the Sepulchre, so you may now fly bats there. Speak with me again when you're ready.
What would you ask of death?
Hey boy, what are you? Oh, the box was still there. Let's go down here. Those are crap. moment.
Can I help you?
Yes.
It's 13 days, that's correct.
And how good of Apothecary Renfurl to send you to me, adventurer. These samples will indeed prove useful to the cause. I will begin studying their toxic and contaminable properties at once.
You can be of further service to the Royal Apothecary Society, adventurer. When Arugul cast his wretched magic on the forest, he cursed one of our most promising members, Apothecary Berard. Now a mindless servant of Arugul. Berard is useless to us, but his findings might prove to be of worth. He was studying an ancient plague that killed off all the aquatic life in Lake Lordomere ages ago. Retrieve Berard's journal from his study in the Pirewood Village Inn and take it to Apothecary Renfurl.
Ah yes, the heart samples of which Renfurl spoke. I am eager to experiment with these. It is always of interest to the Royal Apothecary Society when new forms of toxins are discovered. A colleague in Kalimdor, Apothecary Helbrim, is researching the effects of Lordaeron toxins on the beasts of Kalimdor. He would be very interested in a sample of the wolf hearts Renfurl sent me. Helbrim is stationed in the Barrens, in a village known as the Crossroads. To reach him, you must travel via Zeppelin to the Orc capital of Orgrimmar, then travel south by foot to Duratov. Head west into the Barrens and you will soon reach the Crossroads.
The warrior's role is one of protection. Just as we protect our compatriots in battle, we must also protect the interests of the Forsaken.
I suppose you are here to be trained in the use of a new weapon? Make it fast. I'm very busy.
The living.
Sayok is the Orc Weapon Master. He is located in Orgrimmar's Valley of Honor. He can train the use of bows, daggers, fist weapons, one- and two-handed axes, and thrown weapons. Hanashi, the Troll Weapon Master in the Valley of Honor of Orgrimmar, can instruct in the use of bows, one- and two-handed axes, staves, and all thrown weapons. Ansekwa, the Tauren Weapon Master, is on Thunder Bluff's lower rise. He teaches the use of one- and two-handed maces, staves, and guns.
You say that this ring was worn by a woman recently killed? Watch your back. The only nearby source of such a body would be the mass graves in Tirisfal. The Rothide Knolls must be taking those corpses to Fenris Isle.
Before we launch an assault on Fenris Isle, we must determine who is behind the Rothide Knolls. Our apothecaries believe their origin lies within the strange fluid that flows through their bodies. Go to Fenris Isle, east of the decrepit ferry, and collect Rothide ichor from the knolls you find there. Bring it to apothecary.
Let's go.
If you want to find the husband or beloved who gave Delia her ring, then speak with Magistrate Severin in Brill. He should have records of recent deaths and, with luck, can discover who Delia is. But I wouldn't hope. Whoever gave her the ring is probably dead, or if he's undead, he probably no longer cares about Delia.
Good work, adventurer. These weapons will ensure our death guards don't get caught unprepared.
Speak quickly.
You've done a valuable service for our Dark Lady.
Farewell. What now?
Cool. Now I can ride the bats back and forth. What else do I need to turn stuff in it? Way down here. I was just fucking there. What? That's crazy. It wants me to go really far away for that one. Took me 2 hours to level up. Alright, I think I'm just gonna stay here and probably end the stream because I might have to go soon if I'm gonna go do some stuff before work. But I'll be on either after work or oh hey Scambria or Raina. What's up? I was just gonna get off because I think I gotta go get some shit done. Are you not streaming? Alright, well I'm gonna end the stream here, but I'm gonna go ahead and... How do I do that? Like this, huh? Alright, well, gotta get off, but I'm gonna raid Star. She's pretty cool, so go check her out. Hope you all enjoyed. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all later. I'll probably be on after work.